Hey everyone, I'm doing this really dramatic, I called it a rocker eye makeup look. New Year's Eve is the one night out of the year. Kind of like no rules as far as makeup is concerned. You can go dramatic, you can go dark. I thought, well, a rocker kind of, sleek, really steely, smoky eye would be perfect for New Year's Eve. It's something that's hard to do without going overboard and having your lid be really, really dark. So what I did today was created a look that had a little bit of a pop of blue on the lid, so had a little bit of color in there so it wasn't too dark. And I also added some dimension in certain specific places. The end result is a really pretty sweeping, like sultry, smoky eye, but it's not so overpowering that when you walk in the room you're going to scare somebody or something like that. So stay tuned if you want to see the products and the techniques I use to get this look. First thing I'm going to do is put down my brow highlight. Finally got a new Benefit Eye Bright pencil. Just going to trace the outer edge of my arch and then blend it out with my finger. This is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the color Black Bean, and it's a black. Now the key to doing a dark look like this, if you don't want it to go overboard, is to apply your base with a very light hand. And you really want to think of it as being kind of a cast of color. So the key to this is just kind of applying this and spreading it out so that it shears it out a lot so you can see through to your lid. And you want to make sure you use a good primer with this. I use the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I'm kind of pulling it out with my finger at that very edge. You could also use a darker eyeliner for that if you wanted to. I just really like the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencils. I think they work really well. Now for my lid color, I'm using Night Divine, and that is by MAC. It's really sleek and kind of the color I think of when I think of a rocker eye look. Has a hint of blue to it, but it's very smoky. You want to kind of take this up a little farther than you normally would in the inner corner. And I'm running that under my lower lash line, being very careful not to take it too far down. That's what's going to keep this look from going too crazy, is making sure you keep your lower lash line pretty tight. I'm going to blend this out with a fluffy brush, just a little bit, so we don't have any harsh edges. And pull it out to a point with our blender brush. This is just one I got from Ulta. This is Moon's Reflection by MAC. It's a really pretty shimmery blue color. I use this in my white and blue icy makeup tutorials. So it's a good way to show how you can use a bright color like this for two very different uses. One being a really dark look and one a really light look. And I'm just patting that over, mostly focusing it on the center of my lid. And it's just going to add a pretty pop of blue to the center of my lid. And you can kind of pat it all around. Blend it in with that Night Divine color. And I'm going to take some more of it on my Studio Gear number 37. Basically just an eyeliner brush that is very precise, and I'm going to focus that in the center of my lash line, right underneath where we applied it to our lid. Okay, now for a crease color, I am using black. I'm using Carbon by MAC. I actually put some on the end of my 217 and then wiped it off on a tissue, so it's not too much right away. And you don't want to apply this to the crease and then pull it down on your lid. You want to keep that lid nice and bright and blue. Rolling that into the upper part of my crease right here, like that. And I'm pulling it pretty far up. Start to just pull it out to a point. And you can pull it down to barely touch the outer edge of your eye. And I'm really aiming for the tail of my eyebrow when I'm creating this point. Wipe your brush off and use that same brush, or take another brush that is clean and blend out the edge of it upward. You don't have to do this, it's totally optional, but I think it adds a little bit of something for these darker dramatic looks. A lot of time you'll see this in an editorial photo shoot. They'll take a little bit of black, and I mean the tiniest bit of it, or a darker version of whatever the lid color is. You don't want to bring it too far down towards your tear duct. It's just almost right where that natural shadow hits. And pulling it up towards my brow. I'm going to go back and just deepen this in here. Take a large blending brush again, go over the edges of all of this, and pull it out to a point again. Now if you have issues with getting kind of a little glob on the end of your shape, sometimes when you blend it out, everything's blended except for the very end. Tap it with your finger, barely remove a little bit of color on the end of your shape. Makes it fade out a little bit nicer. Then another little thing you can do is use a dome brush like this one. This is from the pink set from Coastal Scents, and just take a little bit of a powder that is close to your skin tone. I took my Mineralized Skin Finish and trace the edge of that shape very lightly, and it's going to define it a little bit more. Now for my inner corner highlight, before I forget, because I always forget this part, I'm using a silvery, kind of silver, it's kind of like a frosty white. You could use like a light silver, whatever you want to use really. This is Crystal Avalanche by MAC, taking that on a C159 liner chisel fluff brush from Coastal Scents, and I'm going to pack that in the inner tear duct, more underneath. Bring it in and kind of bring it across our darker colors. You can feather it up a little bit into that black we placed. I'm using my Stila Eye Kaujal in the color Onyx. I'm going to line my waterline with that. I'm going to line my upper line as well and kind of mush it into the base of my lashes to darken them. I just take a synthetic angled liner brush. This one's from Coastal Scents again. Just kind of mush it into the base of your lashes, all around, on top, on your upper waterline too. And then I spread it around my lower waterline by patting it with this brush. I'm kind of going for my liner to look, you know, like it's wrapping all the way around my eye. So now that I've done that, I'm going to set it with some more of that black eyeshadow. Pat it into the base of the lashes. And you want to do that all the way around. And then you can pull it down a little bit more in this outer edge with this brush. Then on a pencil brush, I call them pencil brushes, but Coastal Scents calls this one a 1/16 round crease brush. I'm going to take just a little bit more of that carbon, and what I want to do with this is kind of define the outer edge of my eye. So really just trace where I want the outer edge of my eye to appear, which is right here. And then feather that line in. It's just something to add a little bit more dimension. You really don't need to go overboard with this step. Then if you need to go back in and soften anything, you can go back in with that 217. Remember, moderation is key. You don't want to blend all over the place. Now I'm going to use the thicker wand from my Hot and Naughty Lash by MAC because it's a really dramatic mascara. I think it holds up really well against a look like this without having to apply any false lashes. Okay, so that is it. For the rest of my face, I'm sticking with pretty neutral colors for obvious reasons. The focus is definitely on my eyes for this makeup look, so everything else is going to be pretty toned down. I want to make sure that I warm up my complexion though, because dark eye looks like this can tend to wash you out, especially in the wintertime. You know, New Year's Eve, we're not exactly at our tannest. So I'm going to take that on a paddle brush, and this is a C309 Jumbo Chisel powder brush from Coastal Scents. Oh, and I'm using my NARS Laguna, which I finally hit the pan on, which makes me kind of sad. I'm just tracing a 3 shape on my face, which is going to give me a nice bronze look, just like that. And for blush, I'm actually going to use this blush from the Baby Cakes Baked Blush Palette by Laura Geller, and it's this one right here, and it's the color Sunswept. It's a baked blush, so it has all different kinds of swirly colors in it, but it's basically like has a bronze color in it and some peachy pinks. I don't know if you can still get this palette anymore. Something tells me probably can't, but you can always get these colors in the individual blushes by Laura Geller. I'm going to use some of Sunswept on this angled top kabuki brush from Sigma, and it's the F84. Gives you a nice natural application. So I'm going to blend out that blush a little bit. These brushes are really awesome, by the way. I'm going to be doing a review on these, and I'm going to be going to Hawaii on Sunday, so I might actually film the review from Hawaii and don't hold me to this, but I really wanted to film a video from Hawaii, so it might be actually that Sigma review. And I pre-recorded a bunch of videos, so I'll still be uploading while I'm on vacation. And for my lips, I'm using just a really neutral combination that I've really been loving lately. This is the MAC lipstick in Shy Girl. Just a nice neutral color. It's kind of a peachy nude color. And on top, see-through see-through lip gloss by MAC. What am I talking about? Whenever you add this lip gloss to any lipstick, it kind of makes the lipstick become the nude version of itself, if that makes sense. So I really, really love this lip gloss. So I really hope you guys have an amazing New Year's Eve, and I hope the new year brings you all kinds of good stuff and happiness. I hope you all have a great time when the ball drops, no matter what you're doing, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.